everyone, and welcome to Traveling Boards. My name is Anthony, and this is a very brief overview of Ghost Fightin' Treasure Hunters. Okay, so right off the bat, this is a Halloween staple in my household. This game is guaranteed to get to the table at least once every spooky season. I love it for its simplicity, its style, and its ease of teach. The basic concept here is you're working together as a group of kid paranormal treasure hunter type of group, and you're basically entering this haunted house trying to retrieve the jewels or the gems from the house in order to win the game. You lose a game if too many hauntings happen and the house is just totally overrun with ghosts. One of the things I love about this game is the aesthetic. The board is reminiscent of Clue in that you're walking through hallways and then through different rooms that are very stylized and easy to kind of recognize. Plus, the pieces are just so much fun to play with. The little ghosts are so cute. You can stick them on your finger and play with them if you want. The big red guys are just very scary looking, and when they start to populate the board, you know you are in trouble. What's especially cool is your player pieces in this game. Each kid, ghost hunter person has this backpack unit on, and it's got this little slit in it. So when you pick up those gems, they slide really nicely into the back of the figure, and they stay there while you move around for future turns trying to get that gem out of the house. Which brings me to the whole point of the game. Now, the other thing I do love about this is there is a sort of simple version and then a more advanced version, but they're both very easy to understand. In both cases, you're trying to get all the gems out of the house to win the game. The difference with the advanced setup is that you're going to need to retrieve the gems in order. So you have to get number 1 out, followed by 2, 3, etc., and finally number 8. In the regular game, as long as you get them all out, you win. It doesn't matter what order. So when it's your turn, you're going to roll this movement die. And unless you got a 6, which is the best, you're going to be drawing a card from the ghost deck. Now, most of these are going to show a ghost image on a specific room that you'll see the letter indicating which room it is. So when you flip that card, you take one of those little cute green ghosts and put them in the corresponding room. Now, there are a couple of other cards in the deck, notably these blue and green doors are locked cards. When one of these comes out, that colored door throughout the board is currently locked. So you'll notice some rooms have green, some have blue, some might even have both. If that card is in play, you can't use that colored door. The only way it will become unlocked again is if the other color comes out. So if blue was currently locked and green comes out, now green doors are locked. Also, if this card comes out, you're going to shuffle the whole deck again, meaning all doors are now back to being unlocked. So while you're moving around the board trying to get these gems and get them out of the house, obviously you're going to be dealing with some ghosts. If you finish your turn in a room that has a green ghost, you can choose to try to fight it. I mean, you really should. You're going to roll one of those black dice, and if you get the green ghost figure, hooray, you've eliminated that ghost from the house. If you get a blank or the red one, sorry, he's going to be sticking around at least till next turn. If you ever happen to be in a situation where there are 2 of your Ghost Fightin' Treasure Hunters in the same room, one of those players can then use both black dice when they're fighting the ghosts. Okay, so a couple of more things about the ghosts. Those big red ones, right? How do they come out? Well, during the game, if there's ever a point where there's already 2 green ghosts in a room and that card comes out a 3rd time, that room is now haunted, like super haunted. The green ones come off, big red one goes on. He's going to stay there unless he's defeated. The trick about him is you need to have 2 heroes in that room to be able to fight that red ghost. You get to roll 2 dice, and as long as you get 1 red icon, you're good to go. But that means you are going to have to team up and be very strategic, because the way you lose the game is if there are 6 of those red hauntings on the board. So that's a sort of, countdown clock. You can see how close you are to losing depending on how many of those red ones are out. So the game offers this really cool balance of, having to get those gems out and mitigating the amount of ghosts that are on the board. It does promote a lot of group discussion, which I love, especially for families, right? So we're talking about here. This is a perfect family Halloween spooky season cooperative game. You either all win or you all lose. So you kind of lower the, feeling kind of bad about losing. You can feel bad, but everyone's going to feel bad together. Someone is not winning and someone else is losing. You either all do it or you all don't. And again, as I mentioned, the other thing I love is the scalability. If you want to make it a little harder, you have to get those gems out in order. And in addition, there are a couple of extra cards that you're going to use for this advanced mode. And that's specifically these draw and shuffle cards. So there's one that has 2 and one that has 3. During that part of your turn, if you turn over one of those cards, you have to immediately keep drawing 2 or 3 more, thus really potentially populating the board with more ghosts. Now, the good news is you do kind of then reshuffle and you're starting over again, but that can certainly, kind of snowball the amount of ghosts that are coming out on one turn. Bottom line, this is a great game to have in your collection. It really is fun for all ages. I have played it many times in my life with just adults. I'll tell you that. I recently introduced this finally to my 6-year-old son for the first time last week, and we've already played it twice. We lost both times. I love when a cooperative game is not too easy, but not too hard. I like to lose once in a while. I don't want to win all the time. And he's determined that we're going to win on that advanced level. He's not going to the basic one yet. So I got to say, 2 games in, 2 losses, and he still wants to play. That's how I know it's a great game. If you attend any traveling boards event, especially in October or the spooky season in general, guarantee that we will have this one in the library. If not, if it's another random event and you really want to play it, just let us know. We'll be happy to bring it and teach it. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you next time.